Here we are in the hot seat. Thank you very much. I'm back from the future. Okay, so let's do a video, shall we? Let's do a video about what's happened in the last year. So in the last year, I've done about 5 or 6 audiobooks, I believe it is. Probably 5, actually. Historical fiction seems to be my go-to, seems to be my niche. But back in September, I stumbled across a audition for a little known book called The Saviour's Champion, written by Jenna Moresi. Now, bearing in mind, I had no idea about the book, I had no idea about her. Um, yeah. So, anyway, so I had a look on it, read the synopsis, thought it was pretty good, definitely up my sort of street. Bit of action in there, bit of romance as well. Gotta love a bit of that. Then underneath it actually had a few bits about like who she was and what she did and so on. And probably the biggest point of that was she had 150,000 YouTube subscribers. But yo, who is this woman? How has she done this? So anyway, I auditioned after checking out the channel. Um, Watched a few of the videos about her and the Saviour's Champion, getting as much detail as I can. Then auditioned. Luckily, she liked the audition, and then she sent me another one, so I did that as well. This one was a bit more detail, so it was another scene with Tobias and Layla, I think it was. Uh, Actually, no, she sent me a selection. It was like 3 or 4 scenes, and I chose to do 2, I think it was. So I did one with Tobias and Layla, and then did another one with the lads. I think it might have been when they were talking around in the labyrinth, but I can't remember exactly. I think they're playing the card game. But anyway, um, I digress. So that went pretty well. She seemed to like that too. Obviously, I've got no idea how many people I've yet to ask, but I will do one day. And so on top of that, I also thought, how can I actually get this book? How can I go that extra mile and sway her decision, as we would say? So I actually went onto a website and noticed that the first 3 chapters of the book were available to read. So I was pretty intrigued by that. I had a little read, and I thought, I don't know what, I'll do the beginning. I'll do the beginning. It didn't take too long, but put my twist on it and sent it off as an extra piece. She didn't ask for it or anything, so I just did it and sent it off. And luckily, she loved it. And then after she'd gone away, she'd probably spoke to Cliff and so on, and probably a few of you guys. In fact, I think at the time in her Patreon group or Discord group, they were running um, like a vote or something. I think I can't remember exactly. And some people were jumping onto my channel and putting hashtag Team Nick, which was crazy because that was amazing. And so anyway, I got it and so on, and then went through the process of doing the audiobook, which wow, 20-hour masterpiece adventure, and it was so good. I had so many things to worry about, so many characters, so many people who, when you're listening to the audiobook, you don't want them to sound the same. You got 20 guys in the labyrinth, all competing for the Saviour's hand in marriage, and then you've got all the side characters. Ugh. So yeah, we came up with a few ways to sort out what people were going to sound like and so on. I remember this scene where Tobias is being bathed by 4 ladies, 4 lovely ladies, and that one was interesting because, well, I'm a man, as you may be able to tell, and doing female voices isn't easy for any man, and obviously vice versa. So doing four different female voices in one scene, and I believe Delphi comes in at some point as well. Um, it just made things very interesting. I remember that was definitely one of the most difficult chapters to do for me. Um, but anyway, it all got finished, came out in April, and it's so far gone down a storm. Jenna's happy. Everyone who's listened to it, apart from a few, but you can't please everyone, can you? But the feedback and the reviews have been so good, and I could not ask for anything better. So thank you to everyone who's bought it and for reviewing it and following me, even though I'm just a random audiobook narrator. But thank you. Um, and then after that, that's come out. Uh, I've been doing the one called the Druid by Stephen A. Mackay, a Scotsman, and so that takes place in Britain after the Romans have left, and it's a rescue attempt by this Druid. I don't want to go into too much detail, but if you look for it online, it's there, and the synopsis is on there as well. Very good story, and hopefully be more too. Just literally finished it yesterday, and um, and that'll be out soon as well. So hopefully, anyone who's interested will have a listen. Um, and then so things have been going pretty well. Uh, Obviously, you always want to be busy, so I'm always looking for the next gig. Uh, one of the uh, one of the books I was planning on doing, unfortunately, has fallen through. Not ideal, but at the same time, you got to respect the the decision of the author. So that's that. And then on the flip side, a bit of personal stuff about myself as well, which uh, is a bit of a taboo subject, to be honest. But I thought there's I'm not afraid of it, and neither's the wife, and so on. So we've been talking about it, and then we posted it online as well because, in fact, the day that the Saviour's Champion came out, um, we were in London because I was having an operation. You see, we've been trying for kids for the past couple of years, and unfortunately, nothing's happened. So went through all the tests and stuff, and found out basically I can't have kids, which is a bit of a shame. Obviously. Uh, so we went through all the rigmarole of finding out what exactly it was and stuff, and basically, I'm azoospermic. So it basically means I have zero sperm whatsoever, none. Like I say, we were in London on that day, and basically, I had an operation called a micro-tese, where they take out your balls and have a look in them, see if they can find anything in there, and then if they can, happy days. If they can't, well, just put them back in. I took a couple of samples. Unfortunately, they didn't find anything, but there's not much you can do about it. It's one of those things where it's nothing that I've actually done. Uh, like it's not down to like drinking or smoking or anything like that. It's literally been in my DNA since day dot. Since I was born, basically, or before I was born, my DNA was like, nah, not this guy. So yeah, it's one of those things in life where you get to it and you're like, obviously, it's disappointing, but at the same time, we, as long as you have the support of your family and your wife or your husband or whoever, you'll get through it. like, we're getting through it. We're gonna go down a different route to hopefully have children. Because I obviously we still want children, and at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if, say, if we go down the donor route, whether or not if the kid, the the child is biologically my child. At the end of the day, it'd still be my child. Like everybody know, like people who've grown up in the situation know. So yeah, it'll be difficult, but as long as you're strong enough and supportive enough, you'll get through it. But, I thought I'd let you guys know about that as well, and, hopefully, if anybody's got any questions or whatever, then I'm happy to answer it because I know that it is a bit of a taboo subject, and not a lot of people like to talk about it because they can feel uncomfortable. But the more people know about it, the better, I think, which is why I'm doing it on this video. So, as well as it being an update on how I'm doing in my voiceover and audiobooks, it's also an update and an explanation of like azoospermia and infertility and things like that. So please do comment because I'm sure there's people out there who would benefit from speaking to somebody else. So I appreciate that, and and then to hopefully end on a good note. Like I say, hopefully everything else keeps going well. Um, so I'm going to keep on auditioning anyway and trying to get more audio books and more voiceover work. And obviously, if anybody's out there who's looking for an audiobook to be made, then by all means email me and maybe we can discuss things, go through ACX or negotiate, um, and then we'll see what happens. But I'll probably do another one of these videos. I don't know, maybe in a month's time or maybe just over. But I just want to just keep people updated. Really, I've seen a few videos online about people starting in the audiobook realm, like Murphy Napier. Hopefully, I said your name right. And like I've heard some of her stuff, and it's really, really good. I've watched it for about a year as well, I think, or nearly a year, about the same time as I started the Savior's Champion, anyway. And that's really, really positive. So good luck with that. And then, yeah, I'll see you soon. Hopefully, I've not bored you too much with this video. Um, and see you soon. Bye. Yeah, not too bad.